to be here wearing this jersey right now at FanFest?
I mean, yeah, I feel like free agency isn't all it's cracked up to be, but I'm very excited to be putting this back on. I think I hope at least the Padres are happy about it as well, and it's great seeing the boys again and be back in this clubhouse.
We know about the top 3 guys in your rotation. The guy who gets overlooked a little bit is Randy. What do you see out of him the last couple of years? Like up, down, and just doing it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I saw him with the Yankees too. Incredible stuff. I think that was the reason why he was part of that trade package coming over here. And then you just saw the development over the last couple of years. And I think the mentality is 100% there because he was up and down and honestly didn't have a defined role. And that's a really hard position to be in as a young player. But he fully excelled in it and really helped us out last year. So I think he's going to continue to make those strides and be really good for us in the future.
Padres only signed 1 free agent this offseason. We don't know how that guy's going to do. Just wonder what you think about. There's obviously a lot of good guys on the team. You guys made the playoffs 2 years in a row, but where do you see the team?
Yeah, part of the reason, I'd say the main reason why I signed back here was because of Preller. Knowing him as a GM, I know that he's going to put a winning team out there every time I'm part of this contract. And I wanted to win throughout the duration of it, and I had the trust in him to do that. Yeah, you can say that Joe would be an addition back to the rotation. I would kind of consider myself in that because I only contributed for half the year. And so I think that we have a ton of incredible pieces that ultimately can lead to a World Series. And yeah, we all got to play to the best of our ability, and I know Preller has the faith in us to do that.
Mike, we spoke at the end of the season in Chicago, and we talked about how you wanted to be back in a Padres uniform, but obviously there was so much unknown. How much did you expect to be back in a Padres uniform?
You know, I don't know. I don't know if I can quantify it. I think that, yeah, the guys that are in that locker room, I did not want to part with. I think that the atmosphere here is one that's really hard to beat. So that was why it was atop of my list. Preller definitely iced me out for a little bit there early in the offseason. He said we'd be in touch, and I didn't hear from him for a while, so I got a little nervous. But was very happy when he called, and we kind of quickly got a deal done as soon as he called. So I think he got me a little nervous, but I obviously am very happy to be back.
Craig and the staff are pretty young. He mentioned a little bit ago he thinks relatability with players is very important. From a player's perspective, how important is it to have a manager who's so closely removed from actually being a player himself?
Yeah, I mean, walking into Camp 44 that we were just at, it was the first time I saw him in person, and walking into that office, it's fun to see him at the helm. Obviously, we had a relationship as he was a special assistant, and he was in and out of the clubhouse for the last couple of years. We've golfed together, we've seen each other off the field, and you definitely get that relationship that you know that there's trust going both ways. As a competitor that just was in it, that knows the game really well, that has hired a great staff, but is also going to lean on his staff to continue to learn because obviously it's his first gig. So I think that the combination of being able to learn, but being able to have done it in the past makes him a very dangerous manager. So I'm very pumped to pitch from him.
You said previously that you, Darvish, sat in on your negotiations between your agent and AJ. How impactful was he, and what's the role? How can he help his pitching staff, even though he won't be playing this season?
Yeah, Darvish is one of my favorites. I still think he's the coolest person I've ever met. He cared so much about me. Back to the Randy question, he made Randy the pitcher that he was this year. I think he really took him under his wing and made him really successful. And it's funny because both of their second language is English, and they're still a little choppy with it, and they just had this bond that was incredible. So I think that type of leader that we will have throughout the clubhouse is great for our young pitchers. And then you'd have to ask him about how he helped Preller give me a couple extra dollars, I guess. But Darvish has been a guy that I've looked up to since I come over here, and I can't wait to keep that relationship going.
You start,
yep.
But having a guy who throws 104 on the back end, how you ever kind of sit back and relax and Bob's going to enjoy the show?
Oh yeah, we'll enjoy the other 4 days. But no, I mean, Mason's incredible. The whole bullpen that we have out there is comforting. You know, we know that there are a ton of spots that bullpen relievers go into that are messy, and every single time that phone rings, you know it's going to be somebody that is gonna answer and put up those zeros and leave your runners on base. So yeah, if I'm leaving runners on with Mason coming in, I feel pretty confident. So that was a huge addition to the team last trade deadline, and I know he's going to be just as equally important this year.
Do you like the way it's set up with those opt-outs?
Yeah. That was ultimately the main thing that I was looking for. There's free agency, like I said, is weird. There are so many different things that are involved that I didn't even know was actually happening. The rejecting the qualifying offer made it so then teams lose draft picks, so they didn't want to give opt-outs because they lose a draft pick for a guy for 1 year or something like that. And so I think that the Padres were a team that could definitely do that for me. I think that obviously coming from an injured year, I appreciated the opt-outs and was very happy that they came to those terms.
Time for one more.
Walking out and seeing all the fans out here, does it almost feel like this is how it's supposed to be?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've done it the last couple of years. There's nothing like walking out to that mound specifically when the fans are rocking and you're it's a random Tuesday night and they're packed out. So I think it's a great time for us to be able to show our appreciation to them because we definitely feel their love throughout the year.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.